Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, and Happy Holidays to you and yours. My name is Tronage, and today we're going to be talking about the Quad box for December 2019. It's the last box of the year. Want to see what's inside? Stick around. Quad box for 2019, December, last box for Quad box of this year. They switched it up a little bit. The box looks a little different. They got some now little yellow action going on the logo, which is pretty cool. Maybe that's an indication of what's to come. A little changing it up. I don't know. Here's what we are going to do. I am dying to get inside of this box. So what we're going to do, I'm going to bring you all in close. We're going to do a little bit of an unboxing. Check out what's inside here, and I'll give you my genuine reactions and opinions of what I see. And then we're going to do a little bit of a cost analysis to see really is it worth what you paid and how much value did you get out of this box and all that fun stuff. But before we do any of that, slam that subscribe button. While you're at it, hit that bell icon. Keeps you in the know when I post videos like this one, makes them easy to find, and it really, really helps support this channel. So please go and do that. That'll be your Christmas gift to me, and I thank you for that. Now, let's get started because I'm super excited. Last year, December was a killer box for Quad box. Let's see if they do it again. Boom. Let's do this. Quad box in a fancy box with this new border. So let's give it our usual flipperoo. One thing I'm noticing, the shipping label is not wrapped around. We're actually using packing tape to hold it shut, and the shipping label is flat. Let's crack this seal. Standard old tape. Crack that open, little pre-open on that box. Flip it back around. Get things squared away. Get that flap open. Are you ready? Here it comes. Oh! Ho, 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 ho! Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Normally I save the good thing for last, but I can't help but see it. And I'm sure you guys see it too. I even got chills on my arms. I got goosebumps going all over because history has repeated itself. We have the blaster motors once again in the December box. Holy! Yep, that's right. Blaster motors, 2207s, 1800 kV, kicking ass, taking names. Here you go. Here's your back action. You want to check that out? Straight up awesomeness right there. Freaking hype train blasters once again. It's going to be tough to compete with that kind of action right there. So 4 blaster motors. Now we go for some props. We got some HQ props. Nothing listed on the outside, so we will have to check the engravings and see what it is that we have in our hands. It's the R42s, ladies and gentlemen. It is a very popular prop. We've gotten these before, and now we're getting them again. It's the R42s HQ props in a really luscious color red. I'm really happy with that red color. So we put those to the side. Next up, oh, this box still goes, so I'm gonna save the shirt. We got a Roto Riot. If you can see, it looks kind of weird because this is actually like a car decal where you it's a double stick where you first peel off the transfer paper, stick it on your car window, and then peel off your transfer paper. So it's like a vinyl die cut sticker. That is freaking cool. I mean, it's just a sticker, but it's something like, the other stickers, the sticker sheet stuff is just okay, I think. But something like this you put on your car or whatever, I think that's kind of cool. All right, what else we got under here before we do this shirt here? We got another paper here. What's this going on here? Oh, we don't want to ruin. That's a spoiler alert right there. And what else we got? And we got some flush cutters. Who doesn't need another pair of flush cutters? I'll tell you, I love getting me some flush cutters. Not flesh, flush. because I use these for everything from my 3D printer to when I'm building, you know, like Warhammer models to just general, like I have so many of these pairs everywhere. And the problem is with them, they do wear out. And what I mean by that is if you drop these on the ground, you'll like bake these points off and they're very sharp, but if they get just a little bit wrong, it just won't cut good again. And or if you try to cut something really hard, you can get like chips in the blade and stuff. So they don't last forever. So it's good to have a couple pairs. And I quite literally love, I mean, I know it's weird. I'm getting excited over like a $2 tool. And then a shirt. Let's open this shirt up. That is very, very clever. All right, so here you go. Here's your shirt. And I don't know if it's gonna come out good because it's very subtle, but there's like the silhouette of like a quad here. And then you have a quad and you're like, okay, I don't get it. Here, let me help you explain. Quad box. Clever. Clever, clever. That's pretty cool. Love the dark shirt. It's a nice shirt. I know some of you guys left some comments, especially from the November box for Quad Box, talking about you didn't sign up for an apparel, you know, box or whatever. But you know what? I still love the apparel. That's why I signed up for Quad Box originally back in 2018, was just for these stupid shirts because I like them. So that's just my opinion. Anyhow, I'm getting too excited. So we got a shirt. We got a flush cutter. We got a sticker, not a sticker sheet, just a vinyl cut sticker, which is still pretty cool nonetheless. We got 3 sets of props and count them, not 1, not 2, not 3, but a full 4 blaster motors in this box. We're gonna run some cost analysis, but I can tell you right now, these 4 motors already are making this box huge value. I just can't stop smiling. All right, let's get into it. As if there's any doubt that there's some huge value in here because of those blaster motors. Let's look at the cost analysis. And there it is. Let it soak in for a moment. All right, so let's go through these line by line and we'll talk about them. So first up, we have these HQ props, the R42s. This is the latest and greatest from HQ Prop. They are one of my 2 go-to brands. I love HQ brand, and I also love the Dal Cyclone props are my other go-to prop. These HQ ones though, the R42s are supposedly really good. So the difference between an R42 and a standard HQ 5141 prop is that it's a little bit more stiff. It's a stronger material, however they formulate the plastic. So the difference here is that a 5141 is a less aggressive of a prop, but a little bit bigger of a prop. You're probably going to be spinning those pretty darn fast. And a prop can deflect their props a little bit, and if you have a more flexible plastic, that deflection, you're losing thrust. So therefore, these being of a stronger material won't deflect as much and should maintain that thrust. My own guess though, that I've said in previous videos, is that because they are of a harder material, that usually means more, I don't want to say brittle, but just in situations where they would normally bend and you can bend it back. We've all been there. Instead of changing your props, you just bend the prop back. You know what I'm talking about. Instead of doing that, I have a feeling that instead of it bending, it'll just snap. That's my guess. So you'll probably go through props a little bit quicker, but they'll give you more oomph. That's my assumption. Next up, we have the flush cutter. As I mentioned when I was unboxing it, I love getting me some of these. I mean, I think these are the ones we got last time with the blue handles. Now we got them in a red handle. And I mean, I don't really care the color of the handle. I'm just happy to have them. I would say out of all the tools, like I've mentioned before, it's like my top, definitely top 5, probably top 3 of tools that I want to have on hand. And I will say, be very careful with them, because if you do drop them on the floor and they fall what I'll call butter side down, where the points hit the ground first, they're very sharp, but being very sharp, they're also like very thin. And if they get a little bend or a tweak on them, then when you go to cut, it's not going to be the same, and they're pretty much garbage at that point. So just be careful when handling them. They are also very sharp, so just be careful in general so you don't hurt yourself. But they are a really good pair of flush cut wire snippers. and it's a welcomed addition because I love these things. And then next up we have the t-shirt. It's gonna be hard to see. I showed you the close-up earlier, but I think again it's a nice subtle gesture towards the FPV community so that you can wear this shirt not being like, hey, I fly FPV on your shirt, but still have like a communication with you and maybe someone else who recognizes the shirt to be like, hey, I know what you're up to, and you can maybe have a conversation and meet someone, because let's face it, our niche is kind of small, and I am to try to grow that and get more people up in the air. And you know, it's just a nice little subtle way. Plus, it's got the dark colors. I'm a fan of the dark colors, and it's a really nice shirt. Now, before I get into the blaster motors, I would like to talk about a couple of things that are not on the list. First of all, what's a nice addition is now they've started to include, as similar to FPV Crate, a little cheat sheet, if you will, of what you have, a little brief description. And what's nice of this is not so much to be like, hey, here's the value of what you got, but sometimes you may not know the use, the purpose, or the design thought of some of these items. So you can say, okay, special edition t-shirt. This month's t-shirt features an original design by Chad Capper. It's a visual reimagination of the term quad box. So it gives you a little bit of a backstory of the items, which is kind of like a nice little thing to just know like what these different things are. And it also does list the values. However, they're a little bit different from the values that I came up with. For example, the shirt is $18. I say $17.99, close enough. The props, they have it as $11.07, and the prices I found were like $10.17. So I mean, you know, give or take a few cents, but the concept is still there. So I think that's a pretty cool thing. The other thing I want to talk about is the sticker. Instead of a full-on sticker sheet, which I'm sure has got to be, you know, expensive to produce and stuff. Instead, we have a Roto Riot vinyl decal sticker that you can use to apply to goggles or your car or whatever you want. And I'm a big fan of these types of stickers because I think they just look cool. But again, as with other boxes and stuff, I did not include the cost of the sticker as in the analysis because, you know, you might be like, hey, I want to represent Roto Riot, and you might go out and buy, you know, this vinyl decal sticker to put like on your window of your car or to put on your goggles. I feel like the sticker sheets, you might not go out and do that. But again, to be everything fair, I didn't want to now say, okay, well, this is a different thing, so I'll count it in my cost analysis. So as usual, all stickers, I don't count in the analysis. I just consider them being a little extra gimme bonus. And I did the same with this. And last, and certainly not least, the blaster motors. And it'll put a smile on your face. All right, all kidding aside, 4 blaster hype train motors. I mean, it does not get any better than this. Last year in 2018, when they put out these blaster motors, I freaked out because I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And if you weren't aware, at the time, they had the Fly Hard guarantee, warranty, some sort of program that when they launched those motors, they said, you know, if you break them, we'll replace them at a very nominal cost. The gist of it was, even though it's like a $26, $27 motor, if you send them a picture of the broken motor with the serial number on it, you contact them, they give you a discount code, and you can replace that motor for only $10. So basically you get to fly a high-end motor, and if you crash, your replacement cost is the same as if you bought a low-end $10 motor, which I thought was a genius idea. The only problem I had with that program from 2018 was that it was expiring in 2019. Specifically, the end of this month would be when that replacement program was done. So I was a little bummed about that, but then when I went to look up about these new blaster motors, which we'll talk about in a moment, I found out that that replacement program has been extended indefinitely, and I thought that was amazing to begin with, because now that means no matter what you got, no matter what blaster motors, as long as you have a hype train blaster motor and you crash and you blow out this motor, you burn it out, you smoke it, you whatever it is, you contact them, you send them a picture of it, and boom, you can get a discount code so that you can buy another one for, you know, $10. So that is freaking cool. So what these blaster motors are is it's basically a lower kV version to be used with 6S. So now here's my critical complaints, if you will. Number one, I'm certainly not complaining about getting 4 motors. However, I always, personally, when I purchase motors, I like to buy 5, because if one has a problem or you have a crash, it's like when you're driving your car, if you drive, and you have a spare tire in your trunk. That's so that when one of your tires goes flat, you have one ready to go to get you where you want to do, and then you can worry about finding a replacement. So getting 4 motors, I kind of wish there was a 5th one. Now, granted, already the value is off the charts, so I cannot fault them for not throwing in a 5th motor, because that would be just ridiculous, I'm sure, as far as bottom line and costs and budget and stuff for the box, so I can't fault them on that. The other thing, though, I get that they are the new thing, but I feel like 6S is still not the mainstream. I feel like a lot of people aren't flying 6S, so the idea behind giving the 6S version of the motor, I get that they're new, but at the same token, a lot of people won't be able to get the full oomph out of these motors because they're not really flying 6S, myself included. I haven't made that jump to 6S yet, so therefore I'm still flying at 4S. So without getting too deep into how all the motors and the KVs and the pitches of the props and everything works out, if you're like me and you're not flying 6S yet, you can still fly these motors without issue. It's just that they're going to be spinning a little bit slower. So the props that you normally would use probably won't be spinning as fast, so therefore you probably won't get as much oomph out of them. So there will be a change. So what you're used to is going to be a little bit different, because the KVs that you're using at 4S are a little bit higher. To compensate for that, you can use a slightly more aggressive prop. So therefore, you're compensating for spinning slower by it being more aggressive of a prop. It's not the ideal situation, but it is a way to kind of balance the fact that it has a lower KV. But again, you do that at your own risk. Don't blame me if you try something and you end up smoking a motor. I'm just going by, like gut feeling. And if you are flying 6S, then you got your 6S motor, you got your 6S props, you're really good to go. So you have a good setup here. So I understand the whole theme of the box, because everything is basically set up to be in red. The props are in red, the shirt is in red, the clipper is in red, the blaster motors I believe are red, the box is red, everything is about red, and guess what? Red is for Christmas. So I think that was kind of the theming on this box here, and it certainly was a welcome surprise. I mean, come on, when you look at that bottom there and you see $90 worth of value over the cost of the box, not you spent 50 and got 90. It's you spent 50 and you got 140. Therefore, $90 over the cost of the box in value. I mean, guys, Merry Christmas to me and for anyone else who has subscribed to this box, because this is a killer box. Super excited about it. I'm actually, with this box being so killer, I'm very curious to see what FPV Crate and Drone Drop do, because oh my goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, what are they going to do to compete with this? Because, I mean, in all honesty, us, the consumer, become the winner of this. This is like win-win, because if one box puts out more, then the other box feels compelled to put out more, and we end up just reaping the benefits of that. So I'm really excited to see what these other boxes have to offer. So, as always, my name's Tronage. Fly strong.